everyone. Thanks for joining me today for my quick 10-minute morning routine to loosen up, get blood flowing, and best of all, it is safe for most everyone and anyone. I am in my second trimester, almost third of pregnancy, so everything that I do here is also safe if you are pregnant or even postpartum. So thanks for joining me today. If you like videos like this, please subscribe below. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, please comment and I will get back with you. So let's get started. First things first, what we're gonna do is start in a hands and knees position. And what I want you to do is just get kind of grounded here. Tuck your toes under, and I want you to plant your hands, and all I want you to do is rock. We're gonna rock over your wrists and then back onto the toes just a few times. Just kind of back and forth. One more time here. Good. And we're going to get right into getting that spine moving. So inhale, let the belly drop down, lift the head, lift your tailbone. We'll do a little bit of what's called cat-cow. Exhale, you're drawing your chin to your chest. Belly button in. Inhale, let belly drop. Everything relaxes, lift the head. Exhale, push your chest, your abdomen, everything away from the mat. Be really strong here. Start to activate some of those muscles. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Okay. Stay in that same position. We're just going to rock side to side. So look, eyes to the left hip, eyes to the right hip, eyes to the left, eyes to the right. Good. And then I actually do circles. So what you're going to do is tailbone, head to the ceiling, then to the right, then down to the left, and back to the ceiling. So what I'm focusing on is circling both my head and my hips in the same direction. So we'll do 2 more on this right side first. So head to the ceiling, to the right, down, to the left, and then back up. 1 more time to the right, down, left, back up. Good. Shake it out a little bit and we'll go the opposite direction, okay? So circle your wrists if you need to. We're almost done here. Okay, so what we're going to do is plant those hands, lift head and tailbone to the ceiling, to the left, to the mat, to the right, and then up. 2 more times to the left, down, right, up. 1 more, left, down, right, up. Good. And that gets everything fired up all throughout the spine. Kind of let off those hands. Do some shoulder rolls, whatever you need to do. We're going to do 1 quick stretch here for your wrists and your toes. So curl those toes back underneath. What you're going to do is point your fingers back towards your knees, okay? And really try to straighten both your fingers and your elbows as much as you can. And you're just going to gently rock back and forth. Only go as much as you can. As you rock back, I want your tailbone leading toward your heels, okay? Think about your sit bones, not so much your low back crunching under so that you keep that long spine. 1 more here, stretching back. Good. Okay. All right. So if your arms are already feeling it, that's a good thing. What you can do is take 1 arm across your chest, stretch it out a little bit. Maybe look over your shoulder. Good. Take the left arm across your body. Look over your left shoulder. Clasp your hands behind your back. Puff the chest out, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then try to push your hands down toward the ground. Long spine, don't overarch your back. Keep a nice tall spine. And then take 1 ear toward one shoulder. So left ear toward left shoulder. Feel that stretch. Back to the center. Right ear toward right shoulder. Nice stretch. And back to the center. Good. Okay, we're going to continue to warm up the rest of our body, the front side of our body here first. So come to those hands and knees here. Tuck your toes underneath. We're going to do a nice inhale. Let the belly relax. Exhale, draw the belly in, lift the knees, active position. Good. Inhale, push back to downward dog. So that's lifting your hips toward the ceiling. Keep a bend in your knees. You don't have to be super flexible right in the morning when you're getting out of bed. It's different for everybody. Bend the knees, keep that long spine. I would rather that than you try to straighten and round your back. So hopefully you see the difference there. I really want you reaching your tailbone up toward the ceiling here. Inhale, let everything relax. Exhale, hover those knees. Drawing the belly button toward the spine. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, hover knees. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Next 2 downward dogs. You can start to straighten the knees a little if you can. I almost try to sink my heels to the mat by lifting my toes more. And then exhale, hover. And then we're going to do a quick hold in downward dog here. So what I want you to do here is super strong through your arms. You can do it. I know they're burning. Keep your back nice and long, reaching tailbone to the ceiling. Start to kind of pedal those feet out, reaching each heel to the mat one at a time. And then a nice stretch. Straighten those knees as much as you can. Lift your toes off the mat. Really increases the stretch. Good. Let it go. And find a comfortable position, whatever's comfortable for you, whether it's on your elbows, knees wide, or reaching arms out, knees wide. This is starting to be a little pressure for me, so even elbows like this is good. So just some sort of a resting position. All right, good. Okay, so let's come to a seated position here, and we're going to do a little bit of bridging. Before we lay down, what I'm going to have you do is we'll come to a reverse tabletop position. So fingertips facing heels here behind your back, so leaning back. I want you to open up your chest. I focus a lot on breathing. When you inhale, your chest should be nice and open. Okay, and then exhale, I actually want you to activate your abdominals so that you're not too extended far back. So there will be a good way here that you can see that. So inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, the hips are going to come up to meet the chest. So you're squeezing your hips, really, really tightening your glutes and driving through your heels, pushing your body as far as you can away from the mat. Good, and then come back down. Nice. Okay, sometimes that can be a little bit tough on the wrist, so just do what you can there. If you need the biggest modification that I have for this, that is great. If you have any wrist, finger issues, even into the shoulder, is find something, a chair, a couch, whatever it may be, to bolster right behind your shoulder blades. Take your arms behind your head here, clasping your hands. Bring the knees in toward your hips, and you're going to do that same motion, just leaning on whatever support surface. Okay? So you can still do that and get that nice open chest here by bringing your hands behind and resting your head in your hands. Okay? So I don't want anything to hurt. There's always different ways to do things. So if something doesn't feel right as I'm doing it, just wait, or don't go into the stretch as much. You can always go halfway as long as you got the principles of keeping your spine long and getting the breathing so that you're not irritating anything in the abdominal area. Okay, so let's go quickly onto your back here. We're gonna set up for a little bit of bridging. Okay, really, really good to warm up the back of the body since we just warmed up the front of the body. So palms facing the mat by your side. You're gonna open your chest up by squeezing those shoulder blades back against the ground. And then what I want you to do is make sure your rib cage is against the ground here. Because if not, you're gonna lift off and you're gonna compromise your back. Okay, back, neck, everything. So I want you to work on pushing your rib cage into the mat as we do this, right? Heels as close to the hips as possible. And starting with the tailbone, you're gonna lift off the mat, coming up as high as you can, okay? Again, the rib cage will lift at the highest point, but what I want you to do is lift from the hips first, drawing your hip bones toward your front ribs so that you get that good abdominal work. Essentially what I think is rotating my hips backward up toward me so that my tailbone is coming off first, and that will protect my low back. Okay, so hold here. If your knees want to splay out, pinch the knees together like there's something between them. Make sure they're straight. Good, and then come back down. So let off easily here. Okay, we're going to do 2 more of those. If you feel any cramping in your hamstrings, in your thigh, I want you to bring your knees or bring your heels a little bit closer to your hips. Make sure you're driving through your heels on this. So driving through the heels, we're going to lift the hips. Come up as far as possible. Okay. Lower abdominals are pulling the hip bones up toward your rib cage. Upper abdominals are pushing the rib cage down toward your hips. Those 2 things are happening as then your hips are rolling backwards. Don't forget to squeeze those knees together. Good, and come on down. Let's do 1 more. These are really, really good. Should not hurt, so just take your time. Okay, make sure you're doing it correctly. All right. Okay, plant the hands. Drive through the heels. Tailbone up first, then the rest of the back. Rotating hips back, drawing your hip bones toward your ribs. Ribs toward the hip bones, both. And then lifting as far as you can off. I act like there's a hot flame underneath here. Trying to get away from it. Lift, 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 lift. Drive through in your heels. Knees together, hold. Good, and come back down. Nice, all right. Shake it out a little bit. We're gonna go into a little bit more stretching for the lower body. So, 1 leg out straight. Let's start with the left leg out straight. You're gonna bring your right knee in toward your body, clasping hands behind the knee, and we're just gonna kick up straight. Okay, pump your ankle up and down. I do not care how straight your knee is. Everyone is different. A lot of it is genetics. Circle your ankle, whatever you need to do. Bend, and then straighten again. Work on getting your toes back towards you. That's going to be the biggest stretch. Good, and then come on down. We'll switch. So right leg out straight, pressed into the floor if you can. Draw the left knee up. Be very gentle with that. Don't switch too quickly. Okay, clasp behind that left knee, and you're going to kick up. Pump the ankle, circle the ankle a couple times. Good, and bend the knee. You can draw the knee in a little bit more. Good, and then re-straighten. Pump that ankle, work those toes back towards you. You're feeling big, big, big stretch down your entire back of your leg. The more you do that. Good. All right. We're going to do a little spine rotation, which is my favorite thing to do in the morning. Okay. Tends to be pretty stiff. So you're going to take your arms out at an, kind of what I call goalpost arms. Okay. Or cactus arms. So 90-degree angles with your elbows. You're going to draw both knees up toward you. Okay. The further they're up toward you, the easier it is on your abdominals. It doesn't have to work as hard. If you come more to that 90 degree, You really have to activate your core to prevent your rib cage from lifting off the mat like we talked about earlier. So press those ribs as you're getting set into the mat to help protect your core. Nice inhale, exhale, and then slowly drop knees to one side. Just move nice and slow. You can take your hand that's closest to your knees, press down the outside of your knees, or you can keep it here, whichever you prefer. Turn head away from knees. Try to keep both shoulder blades on the ground. It's tough, especially if you're tight. Good, hug those knees in one at a time, come back to the center. Okay, reset, pressing your rib cage in to the mat here. It's a good strong position. You can really work on a lot in this position. Inhale, exhale, let it relax. At that time, your rib cage will lift, but I want you to keep the rest of that left shoulder and shoulder blade on the mat if you can, and then look toward your left side. Couple breaths here. Good, and then come back to the center. Nice, you can kind of rock it out a little bit here. All right, we're gonna do one more stretch for the hips here. And again, I want to teach you what good position for your spine is. So laying down is the easiest way to practice that, and then hopefully it'll transition into more harder exercises, and then better throughout the day for different movements that you have to do. So take your arms above your head here, just resting. Okay, what that's going to do is put your abdominals on stretch. So your rib cage is going to feel like it's going to lift. Okay, so I want you to create that stretch within your body, but then as you go ahead and inhale, let everything relax. Exhale, I want you to draw those ribs down again toward your hips. Okay, so get that nice and activated there. Keep that as you widen your feet the width of the mat. What you're going to do is with your knees bent, you're going to then drop one knee in, one knee out. Okay, so your left knee is going to go toward the floor in the center of the mat. Keep that rib cage engaged, pressing down. Okay, this is going to create an effect of a stretch all the way up the side of your body, the left side into the left hip. Good, and then back to the center. Nice breath in. You can let that rib cage come off, but then breathe out. Re-engage your abdominals. Draw your rib cage down. Right knee comes down toward the mat. Left knee out to the side. If you have any knee pain at all, I want you to flex your toes up toward you. Good, you may be tighter one side than the other. And then back to the center. We're going to do one more time here. Okay, so pressing the rib cage into the mat, let the left knee drop in, right knee drop out. If you need a little bit more stretch the second time, you're going to take your right ankle, go to the outside of your left knee. That's really going to increase the stretch. Don't forget about those ribs. Don't let that left rib really poke out. Keep it engaged and press down toward the mat. It's okay if it comes off a little bit, but as long as you have that engagement of your muscles, that's good. Good, release right foot off of left knee and come back to the center. Then drop your left knee down, right knee down. If you want, you can take your left foot now over that right knee for a little deeper stretch. Make sure the neck is relaxed. Reach your arms above your head, almost like you're hanging from something here. Get super long. Good. And then back to the center. Okay. Go ahead and roll to one side, and we're going to come up to a seated position first. Take a couple breaths here. we're gonna knock out just a couple more things to get that core working for the rest of your day. Okay, so come back to that tabletop position. Toes curled under, hands pressing into the mat, and what I want you to do is remember what we've been working on with the breathing is inhale, you're gonna let your belly drop, let everything go, relax. Exhale, bring your belly in toward your spine, kind of up and in, okay? Sucking in, it should not make your ribs go up and out, okay? You should actually, when you're inhaling, take it all the way into your belly, letting the belly out. Exhale, you're gonna almost create a corset effect with your abdominals. So like you're putting on a back brace or something that's gonna hold you in, you're gonna draw your belly up and in so that way you create that tension in your abdominals before you start to move your arms and your legs, which is what we're gonna do. So inhale, let it relax. Exhale, lift the belly button. You're gonna lift one arm, one leg if you can, okay? And just hold. We're gonna do 5 repetitions of bringing opposite elbow to opposite knee. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, the whole goal is to stay as stable as possible without shifting one side or the other when that arm and leg lift. So inhale, let it go. Exhale, draw the belly in. Lift left arm, right leg. As soon as you feel stable, 5 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay. Now we're gonna just go back to the knee lift off, which is one of my favorite things to do. Okay, we started with it a little bit earlier. So inhale, let that belly drop. Exhale, hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. You might start to feel a little bit of tension created around your neck. Just make sure your head's in good position and you're not letting the head just drop all down. Remember, as long as you can, from the tip of your head down to your tailbone. Inhale, exhale, hover. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're gonna do one more. Shake out those arms. Inhale, exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Relax. Okay. If you prefer, sometimes I then go into doing a little bit of planking on my hands and my toes. You can advance a lot of skills from there. So that is in some of my other videos if you want to go from there. But basically that's what I do to just get warmed up for the day. Definitely gets my heart rate up. And again, it is safe if you are in 2nd, 3rd trimester for sure. I'm 24 weeks right now. So just do what feels right to you. There's lots of ways to modify, shorten your holds and things like that might feel better. So just take your time. Again, if you have any comments, please drop them below and subscribe if you like my videos. Thank you.